Yo, Theo, Ryan, Grizzly. How is everyone? Darius, you made it. You made it. I was right. Cold. The cold got me, boys. Mario, how's the finger? You still painting Vision 110s? Burns, we had a little paint issue. We had a little too much retarder and a little too cold of weather, and we got a little paint bleed. So we will have discounted paint jobs this go around. A lot of them. A lot of discounted paint jobs. AJ, let this be a lesson. Don't over retard your paint, even if it is humid in the wintertime. Power was out for a day and most of the paint went weird from freezing. Yeah, sometimes you got to bring that stuff inside. I've done that from time to time. When I knew it was going to get really cold, I would load all my paint up and bring it where it was warm. Bring it to the warmth. Oh, there's going to be a drop, Darius. There's going to be two options. You can choose pretty ones, or you can choose ones where the gill plate bled. Let me find you one, such as this. See that gill plate? You want to know something weird? That's what it's supposed to look like. That's what it's supposed to look like. That's what it's not supposed to look like. You know what's weird? Is all the ones that bled, it was only on the side. You know something else weird? I've had this happen before, and it was only on that side. Very, 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 very odd. It does. It actually, like, if I could control that and do just the red and make it bleed, I would probably do that. And I could, but I still don't want to. It is very odd, Burns. But the last time it happened, it was only on that side. And I mean, there might be one in here that the other side did it a little bit, but there's like 12 of them that have it, and it's only on that one side. It is very odd. So no, they don't. But I don't. They need to be discounted because they are not as they were intended. So they will be. Those will. The price will reflect the bleeder. I'm sure. The funny thing is, I'm sure those will go first. Give me the ugly ones. The good thing about ugly baits is that I feel like I throw them more freely. Like if I know a bait's like got something that I don't like on it, or a bait I wanted to change something about or anything like that, I throw it more freely. Burns, the crazy thing is they set overnight. So I don't know how. And they weren't like, it's not like they were like I don't know. I'm still scratching my head on why that happens. I think I've got an idea, but I really don't know. I really don't know. It's bizarre. But I've got things I'll try next time or be more aware of. Uh, no all clad. Nope. I haven't bought that stuff in years. I bought that one. I bought a jar of it, and it details sepia all clad, and it had no color. I bought one of their chromes, like their silvers. It was pretty good, but I just went through it so fast. I went through it so fast. I think I waste more paint than your average guy. You're right, Morgan. It all like those dicked up ones will be the ones that slay because people aren't as like timid to throw them in sketchy places. The mica powders on Temu have not. Probably worth looking into. BBC, we can't afford PPG anything over here. We're not PPG people. There it goes. It's like spraying tinted water. It is. It really pissed me off because I was pretty excited about it because I thought it was going to look good, and then I sprayed it and it looked like exactly what you said, tinted water. And like there was no amount of buildup that would like make it show up. And I was like, man, this stuff sucks. That's different. That goes way farther. BBC, way farther. You can stretch that RM to gallons and gallons and gallons of paint for the money that it cost for a pint of PPG. Sink darker tap water, definitely can agree with that. But some of their chrome stuff is pretty good, or some of their silvers. I feel like they've got too many though. You know what I mean? Like they've got like 16 different aluminums. It's like how many aluminums do you really need? You know what I mean? Like it gets kind of hard. Lexans. Ooh. Temu powders. Where did I miss something? Are you separating the 8 and the 6 ones, or do they come in a pair? They come in a pair. It's going to come with a 6 and an 8. So you get one of each to try. They'll be the same color. But you'll be able to tell the difference because of the eyes. 6 has those eyes. 8 has those eyes. Man, I really wish these would all come out perfect because I spent a lot of time on the backs. Really pisses me off. BBC, we're probably looking at this evening. Yes, possible email today. I like their transparent yellow, but like you said, you can blast through. Yeah, that's what. Like I said, they had some decent stuff, but it went fast, and I'm prone to spillage. So anytime you get like a little bottle of liquid gold, I'm probably 90% chance I'm going to knock it over and spill half of it. So I don't know what it is. It's like if you're scared of heights and you get up on top of a building, you just feel like you're going to like have a spasm and fly off. You're not going to, but it's like the fear of heights that makes you feel like you're just going to like start convulsing and just go, oh, and just go off the side. It's the same thing with like an open bottle of liquid gold. It's like if it's sitting there right there by my hand, it's like my hand's going to go and just knock it over. So you mean the ones with the hook squirters? Don't spill that stuff. I try not to. I spill lots of stuff though. I spill lots of stuff. Me and Pryor were talking about it. I told y'all he stopped by the shop and we were talking about it. Actually, we were talking about it last night. He was driving back from Texas, and we were talking about clutter and like how he likes to paint in clutter. And I was like, man, when you told me I was coming, I went and cleaned up my paint room. I should have left it the way it was. And he was like, yeah, I would have thought it was normal. He was like, seeing it kind of together kind of made me think you were weird. And I was like, I was embarrassed for how it was. And he's like, no, that would just look normal to me. But I don't remember where I was going with that. But something about the clutter. But I'll have like all my paint like right there by my hands, like where I'm trying to work. And then I get frustrated and like knock bottles over because I don't have anywhere to move. But then I like get pissed off and like knock my bottles over. But then I still need them near me for that security. So I'll like pick them up and put them back right there. It's Brian, I think so. One of these days, I think so. AJ, do you do the same? Do you hodgepodge all your bottles like right where you're working and then knock them over and get pissed off that you don't have any room to work because all your paint bottles are all around you? And then stack them up the exact same way so you still don't have any room to work after you've finished what you were trying to do? How can you paint so good but be so messy? That's a great question. Pryor is of the opinion that that's where creativity comes from. And that's where the goodness comes from. Like if it was like a sterile medical environment where everything was like perfectly organized, for a lot of people, you wouldn't get the same results as when it's messy. I need to take y'all for I need to take the campers for a walk one day through the paint room. Like after I finished the Lucky Crafts, y'all should have seen it in there. I had stencils stacked up this high. Actually, this week, like before Pryor came over and I cleaned it up, I've got a job box in there, and it was literally stacked up that high with stencils. And they were just everywhere, stuck to the wall. It was a mess. Paint bottles laying everywhere on the floor, under the table. Like there was just stuff everywhere, like stuff I use, just everywhere. Just everywhere. Can't even tell what paint is in the bottle from the overspray. I've got plenty of those. And the one thing I do is when I run, like when I use up the paint in a bottle, I want to reuse the bottle. And then I'll say, oh, well, this is yellow. I'll make this gold, like some sort of yellow pearl. And it'll have the little bit of yellow that's in the bottom of it. And I'll just add a bunch of pearl to it and some mid coat and make it a whole nother color. So then I'll just have these random bottles that are like very old and you can't even read the label. And I don't even know what's in them. You just got to shake them up and pour it out. Travis is ready. That's fine. All right. He's ready to talk. He's ready to come out from being a cockroach. Maybe it just got cold enough and enough snow and ice in Kansas that he's gotten cabin fever. Travis is ready to spill the 1- juice and the Terminator juice. Bench is a mess. It's starting to bother you. I think you have to embrace it, Burns. That's where the juice comes from. How did the room look from during the pick your color drop? Oh, boy. That might have been at its worst because I needed everything. Somebody said, do me a rainbow trout. And it's like, oh, well, I've got stencils for a rainbow trout that I made in 2014. Where are those at? Dump out boxes and boxes of stencils. That's a lot. Travis, what's your topic going to be? What's your topic going to be? I did clean up in here, though, boys. It may not look like it, but I even added some baits to the wall. Wilmington, Delaware. Welcome to Tacklecraft.com. How big is your paint room? How do you store all your cans and stuff? They're in this cabinet. That's a metal cabinet. It's got these like fold down doors. That's where all my paint and that's where all my extra paint is, and all my other little knickknacks and compressor parts and brushes and everything. All the paint is just laid out around the shop, around the room. Cranking hogs. The paint room is like I don't know, it's like a 10 by 14, I think. I don't remember what I built it. Something like that. I got in my truck yesterday morning and it was -13. Does your truck actually read -13 or does it just say ice? Because that's what mine does. My truck's so old that it doesn't read below 32. It just says ice. I don't know, Brian. Still working on that. I thought about making the black part I thought about doing all my Burns prototypes in blanks on that to get them out of here so where I can actually see them. That's what I thought about. I don't know if I want people seeing those, though. I don't know. Good question. Good question. Yeah, I could. Then I have to pull that son of a bitch back out. And then all my stuff will fall off. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll probably leave it. How did TK paint in the closet? That's true. The paint room in Austin was 10 by 10, and I had all my baits, like all my fishing tackle, all the stuff pretty much in here was in there, plus painting stuff. It was real cluttered and it was real cozy. The only problem with that was any bait that I didn't sell that stayed in that room longer than a week would be covered in dust and overspray. So I would paint a beautiful bait and put it in a package and hang it on the wall in Austin. And if it didn't sell out pretty immediately and it went a week or two sitting on the wall, it looked like it had been sitting in the corner of a gas station since 1987. So that was a little bit of motivation to the stuff needs to go. Stuff needs to go. Burns, I need to call you and get the rundown of what all is in that box. Is there Eric stuff in that box? I don't think we were going to be able to discern what's hanging on the wall behind you. Ryan, you'd be surprised, bro. You'd be surprised. Take a screenshot, zoom in. You can get AI to blend and make the picture more crisp. Then you got to. I would love to see what happens to that. Wear out triggers. If by wear out you mean when I push down, it doesn't come back up. That usually happens after about a week, and my airbrushes then just continually spray. Damn, guys, how you last so long, bro? Teach me the ways. That's the only thing that happens to me with iWaters. Wallow out the bottom where you can't get air anymore. I've never done that. That I know of. I've never had to fix that problem. I don't push that hard. I got a soft touch, bro. I got a soft touch. I'm not trying to jam it down in the air hose. My fingers get that. I got that feather finger. Soft. Hello, Bobby. Just tested. See if you can screenshot that and look at those baits. I'm a jammer bait blasting hammer. This man has come here today with rhymes. He must have written that for his video promo last week that got canceled. Is that what you did, AJ? Did you have a whole shtick planned? This new persona? That's what I'm saying. AJ, I'm pretty hard on shit, but jamming the trigger into the mechanism that releases air is pretty hardcore. That's pretty tough. Yeah, it's pretty grainy. It's pretty grainy feel. It's probably you could probably wait until the video uploads really good to where it gets to like 1080. If my videos ever upload to 1080 or 720, you could probably get the replay and maybe get a little closer. I go through about a trigger a year. No, I don't go through triggers. I just go through entire airbrushes. I go through nozzles the worst. And sometimes I don't even change them. Sometimes I just poke the needle through farther. If you saw the needle, I mean, if you saw the nozzle on the gun I clear coat with, you would be astonished. You would say, how? How does this man get clear coat out of his gun? Same brush from 5 years, man. 5 years ago, I'd probably already gone through 10 Neos, at least 10 or 15. Mangled piece of Play-Doh. Poor guy. Poor guy. Oh, AJ's hog is he looks like one of those it looks like one of those catawba worms that's been in the freezer for 2 years, and then you pull them out and they're all dried up and just dilapidated. I did go through 2 microns in a year. Turns out microns aren't for heavy lifting. They're more finesse. Cheddar Trick stick? I don't think so. That's not ringing a bell. If I saw it, I'm sure I would recognize it. Name, maybe, probably not so. Yeah, Burns was nice enough to send me 2 beautiful microns, and I shredded those. I got an Eclipse now. It's been pretty good. It's been pretty good so far. Pryor was scratching his head on how I use a gravity feed gun. He's a siphon guy, which I should probably use a siphon, but I told him my problem with siphons. He's like, man, I got a bunch of them little bottles and the paint's already mixed up in it. I just put them in and spray. I was like, yeah, it makes a ton of sense. I was like, my problem with that is I tried that, except I dropped mine on the floor and broke glass and spilled paint all over the floor because they would fall out of the airbrush. And he's like, yeah, that's a problem. He said, I paint over a piece of carpet, so if something falls, it hits the carpet. I paint over concrete, so when it falls, it breaks. And I'm usually not sitting down. Like, it seems like they would always fall out when I was standing up. So, and I've tried plastic bottles. I just don't like them. Glass is the way to go, but I break them. Later, guys. There was a time when I considered buying a Badger. I didn't know. I didn't. I think they make nice guns, but never pulled the trigger. AJ, add that to your joke list. Add that to your painter shtick. Got my Cadillac Special Margarita poolside. I hear you, bro. How's the weather down there? Oh, there's a video of AJ painting XCS 100s. Those look nice. Oh, yeah, I've seen those before. They look like a golf ball. Those pretty cool. Got a chatterbait blade on it. I would probably more like to throw that without the chatterbait blade. Probably see if I could remove the chatterbait blade and then install a line tile on the top. That's something I might consider. It looks like a I'll tell you exactly what that is. They took a Yozuri Vibe and they put dimples all on the side. That is 100% a Yozuri body that they just had dimpled. You see that a lot, where people just take an existing body and then do something different to it like that. Up to 20 in Kentucky. Yuck. What's up, Nasty Nate? The problem is I had some baits bleed on me, Nasty Nate, so I'm going to put them up and they're going to be discounted. See the gill plate? So if you want a discounted bait, look in the discounted section. This is what it's supposed to look like. Nice and crisp. Not nice and bloody. This is probably, let me find a bad one. Let me find the worst one. That one bled a pretty good bit. Gross. Pisses me off. Morgan, that's probably exactly what happened. But Nasty, we still got some clean ones. We had a couple that were salvaged. Not many, but a few managed to not dick up totally. Delivered. Oh, I ordered a flannel shirt on eBay and it was delivered just now. Wonderful. That's exciting. They said TK hates America because I don't spray a badger. I like the Japanese. I like the Japanese brushes. It makes me feel a little more artsy. Darius wants the bad one. Darius, you can have as many of the bad ones as you want. You can have as many as the bad ones as you want. Nesty, you would be correct. They are. So there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 dicked up ones. And then there'll be 1, 2, 3, 8 nice ones. Pretty nice. Nice enough. I might go back on that. They might all be dicked up. Who knows? All the best stuff is made in Japan. Is that a real quote from Back to the Future? I feel like I'm slacking that. I should know that. Dustin, you want the bad ones? All right. You'll be in prison, so I'll set you a set of bad ones aside. Everybody wants the nasty ones. Maybe I should just start dicking them up all to begin with. Everybody wants the shitty ones. I don't like shitty ones. I like them to be squeaky clean. I like them just to be as they were intended to be. When 1955 Doc was looking at the microchip. Man, I haven't seen Back to the Future in so long. Great movies though. Which one was the best? Now we're getting into some real quality content. Which Back to the Future was the best Back to the Future? Morgan, maybe this afternoon. What's your schedule like? Yes, let's get it straight. The only thing dicked up on these is my fault. It's the paint. Everything else works as intended. Painter dude dicked up. 1 or 3? Was 3 the Old West? I don't like the one where where his the Old West one's pretty good. That one's got one of my favorite lines in it, where he gets in the desert or whatever, and the dude says, "What kind of moccasins is them?" What's that funny writing on the side? Say Nikkei. Got to be the first. The Last Crusade. I would agree. 1 or 3. What happened in 2? I don't. Must be Engine. I'm guessing that's one of your favorites, AJ. I don't even remember. They all run together. 2 must not be that good. Oh yeah, I didn't like 2. That's when he gets old and like he goes across the pond on the board and he goes to he gets the book. Yeah, I don't like 2. The first one, I think, yeah, he had to avoid his mom, I believe. Yeah. They didn't like 2. Because what's his name? Biff, where Biff had that like big apartment and they were like shooting up the apartment. I didn't like that scene. That made me uncomfortable. That made me uncomfortable. Let's see, Back to the Future 3. See if I remember any scenes out of it. Where's my buddy Bert? He's an expert on these shows. Yeah, 3 was good. Now that I'm looking at pictures, 3 was good. 3 didn't make me, and I feel like that that Biff was a much better character as the like handlebar mustache dip spitting cowboy. Like that fit the character. Like when he was like the rich guy, I didn't like that. I didn't like that. Back to the Future. Yeah, they had to push the car with the train. That's pretty good. Pretty good. I might choose 3. Manure. I didn't know we had so many Back to the Future fans. Manure. 20 here, 28. Yuck. It got down to 30. No, we got down into the 20s last night, like 27. My buddy Keith went. Uh, he went and launched his boat today. Any guesses of what the water temp was in the backwaters of the Mobile Delta? Any guesses on what the shallow water? It's been in the 20s for 2 nights in a row. Just as a tip. Dustin was pretty close. Steele was pretty close. 41 degrees. 41 whole degrees. those, but didn't seem to hurt anything. Didn't seem to hurt anything. These Delta bass, they're built different, dude. Like, weather doesn't seem like, what's weird is that like extreme cold and extreme hot does not seem to affect them. They're affected by like the opposite, like good weather. Like if it's sunny and the wind's not blowing, they're like, ugh, definitely not going to bite your worm today. But if the water's 40 degrees and the wind's blowing like 20 miles an hour, you're like, dude, great day to feed. Let's get on it. Grizzly lives by the mall from Back to the Future. Does that mall still exist? Like, is it still open? I do have, it's not ready to rock at all. To show you how long ago these rods were rigged. Yeah, we still got frogs tied on, boys. Although they were eating a frog down here 2 weeks ago. I'm going to do a little switching up. I got some new rods from AJ. I'm probably gonna do a little switcheroo, and because some of these rods they've seen better days, so I might be able to replace. I might be able to take these and get some guides replaced on them or something. This one seems to be fine. I'll fix it up. What is it? It's a punching rod, 765. Punch with that one. I got a lot of 765s. Now I've got even more. It's at a 734. Got lots of those too. Need that one. Need my spinner getting cold. Oh, check out what's on the old crank stick. I might need to leave this on. Burnsy Proto. Hello, Clay. You could throw the rods that actually have more than yes. That's what I'm trying to do. I need to pull these covers off and see what's actually got stuff guides still hanging on. What is this? Swim jig. I think the swim jig pulls. All right. Let's check it out. Yeah, we got a couple crookeds. All right, though. This one is okay. Let me see if I can find one that's not okay. I've got some real doozies in here. What is this one? Well, it's starting to separate a little bit. This one's okay. What is it? 705. Yeah, the clear coat's starting to. The epoxy's starting to get all cracked. We've seen better days. But you know what's very satisfying is when you're when the epoxy starts cracking, peeling it off. I get great satisfaction out of doing that. It feels real good to do that. Yeah, all the epoxy on these guides is starting to you see all this discoloration starting to get worn down. I want to get a rod repair. Too many rods out of commission due to 75-cent guide. Yes, Clay, become the guide guru. do that, and then I can. I don't peel baits, AJ. Just rods. Just rods, because I feel like bait epoxy is not nearly as fun. All my friends live online. Me too, Clay. It's awesome. Clay, I was watching a Todd Castledines live a couple times ago. Looked like y'all became best friends. Clay, Todd was having I think he had a crush on you after whatever comment you made. Todd gets it. What were y'all talking about? I was sitting there watching. And he was like, Clay, yes, Clay. You get it. Yeah, me and Clay. Me and Clay. Speaking of Clay, since you watch Todd, and I watch Todd, and a lot of people here probably watch Todd. I feel like he's getting a little more brave when he mentions you people. So he's starting, I feel like the rage is starting to build within him, and he's starting to be more vocal to the what would you call them? You know what I mean? Like the people that just say dumb stuff. Guys, swimming jigs. Hello, Epic, Eric. Slow rolling a blade. Wow. I didn't watch it. I haven't watched it. Didn't like him much. Yeah, I think you run a slippery slope when you start dividing. I don't know. I guess it works for Randy. But at some point, if you talk about the idiots on your stream that follow you and watch your videos, if you talk about those guys in a way that it might turn off the nice guys. You know what I mean? It's a slippery slope because you don't want them to get away with it, but you don't want to also, you don't want to make it so much of a thing that other people get turned off by it. You know what I mean? Like his rant video, there's lots of you people. I don't know if that's the best thing, but I understand his frustration because there's definitely a bunch of morons on the internet. But what I've observed from, or what I've heard advice wise from people with millions of followers, not thousands, millions, is you don't feed the trolls. You never feed the trolls. And I think by calling them out and saying you people, you're feeding the trolls. And according to the gurus, this is like this is people coming from the music world. I watch lots of guys in the music world. They have huge followings. Talk about like their social media and their YouTube and how they, with other guys that are like up and coming and like giving them advice and stuff. So they say you never feed the trolls, which I could agree with, but it's hard. It's hard when you got somebody that like can't listen or can't comprehend anything or doesn't watch the video. I think that's probably the one that irks people the most is when you have people that get on there and they can't even comprehend what they're watching. And then they want to write you some like dick comment. I think you're right, Clay. I think you're right. But Nasty, you're not a fan of that channel? What irks you? What irks you? I feel like he can be a little bit out of touch sometimes. And by out of touch, I mean above things. Clay, I can see that. I can see that. But we're all here for the same. I guess in my business, I'll get mad at the damn crumb snatchers out there trying to ask people how to mix bone. Maybe that's my version of you people. Not you people, but you know what I mean. I don't know. But in my older age, I'm trying to not be as negative, be a little more positive. I feel like when I first got down here, it was I was full of piss and vinegar, and all I wanted to do was rant about something. I don't have any rants anymore for the most part. I used to have a lot. I don't know where those went. Where did my rants go? AJ, please tell me there wasn't another man trying to crack the code on how to mix a bone paint. Everything negative. RazzleCon? I haven't. Is that like a fest? Is that like con, like Comic Con, but spelled German? Oh, what was that one? Oh, the guy that wanted the 3D printed stencil to make the damn little Debbie cake baits. That was pretty funny. Like, just keep doing them by hand, bro. $4 billion crypto heist. That sounds interesting. Yeah, AJ did send me a post of a fellow looking for somebody to 3D print him a stencil so he could mass produce Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes. And the way he's been doing it now is that he's been painting the red lines by hand. It's too time consuming. He wants a better way. I hate to tell him, it's probably just as easy to do it the way he's doing it. And it probably looks better. I get it. Megabass makes a badass jerkbait, and Zoom has every soft plastic known to man. Oh, we talking about Randy? I thought we were talking about Todd. Nate, you're talking about Randy. Yeah, Randy's got a little bit of hypocrisy going on in his channel. I mean, he wants to talk about things being affordable, and his number one sponsor is Megabass, who is at the high end of fishing tackle. So that makes sense. Maybe you should talk to Megabass about making an affordable Megabass bait. Tim, Headed to Lake Fork. Advice for a noob. Don't. Are you just going to be like fishing like normal people do? Two packs of Spark Shads like a hype douche. And you still could not resist it. Just normal fishing. Don't discount the Carolina rig in Texas. I know it's old and it's dumb and it's frowned upon. But there's something about that thing in Texas that it still works. It will always work, but it gets forgotten about, I think. Even a shallow, like if you're fishing kind of shallow, even a short one with a light weight for shallow water. Fish the best looking stuff and ignore everyone. Gonna be boats everywhere, and don't be afraid to get in the crowd. That's good advice. That's good advice. Get in the crowd and throw a rig. Shallow, deep, whatever. But hell, Clay, I guess this time of year there's gonna be a bunch of guys on the bank, but hell, I still think there's probably gonna be a lot of guys out there trying to chase some fish out in the middle. I catch a lot of fish in 5 foot on a rig. Yeah, it's a thing, Morgan. It's a thing. It is a thing. And it's especially a Texas thing. Like growing up, you always hear, like, if you think of early spring in Texas, it's a rig and a trap. There's a reason for that. Is because they bite the shit out of it. Still. Like that's never changed. Not much on the rig. Tim, I'm telling you, bro. I'm not much on it either. But there's something about that thing out there that they can't resist. I don't know where. I'm sure there'll be fish all over the bank. I don't know. It seems like it'll probably be the time of year you can do just about whatever you want to do. You can probably go crank. I mean, I feel like Fork's good enough if you like. Whatever you want to do. The problem would be, like, if you get in an area and you don't really get that good, you know that feeling where you pull in an area and you fish for a little bit and you just don't feel right, you don't feel comfortable, and it just feels like something's wrong. You don't know what it is. You just can't. You don't get that, like, I'm here. Let's settle down and catch some bass. You just like, I don't know about this. Like, I think the problem with Fork is that if you get that feeling and you've never been there, it's not like, oh, I'll just hop in my boat and like zip over here to the other side of the lake. Not that friendly. I know Clay. I mean, I know Kyle. The Sea Rig is gross. So I don't know. I don't know what the. I'm kind of Tim. I don't know. It's probably me getting older, but I've gotten to where I just like getting in an area that looks good, and then just fishing. Not running around. I just put the trolling motor on and just fish. And eventually you probably run into them. So that would probably, I would see that being, at Fork It's a giant place, but you also don't want to get caught running around everywhere. And then everywhere you pull into has got 30 boats in it. So I feel like this time of year, it might just be better just to kind of sit back and enjoy your time and pitch. Watermelon Fluke. Tim, you got to check back in and let us know how you did. Let us know how you did. I've had hard luck at Fort, but you can't go wrong in Caney. There you go. There you go. Is grass everywhere, Clay? All right, I'm excited. I'm excited now to see what Tim comes back and gives us a report and see how he did. Tim, where are you from? Doesn't grow outside the bank. That helps. That makes things way better. That makes things way better. Because then if you're from out of town, Central Illinois, this will be an interesting social experiment to see how Tim McCoy from Central Illinois goes down to Lake Fork for the first time and see how he dissects it. Would make a great video, actually. Tim, if you have a video crew that can film this for you, I would love to see how a man from Central Illinois goes down to Lake Fork at the end of February and how he does, how he breaks down the lake, how he chooses, just how it goes down. To me, that's more exciting than the elites on St. Johns River. That's way more interesting. And I think there's way more to probably learn, even if you don't catch anything. Which you will, of course, because we're positive here. Now, we're both positive. We're all positive. You're going to catch them, big ones. We're putting it out into the universe for you. Nate, Tim is your neighbor, bro. Toledo. I could see that. I don't know. No, that's a toughie. Grizzly, that's what I'm saying. I'd watch that. It's like Joe versus Pro, but it's like Joe versus the lake. It's a great concept for a video series. You just pick a guy, you get on your social media page and you say, hey, who's going on a fishing trip this week? Me, I'm going to Lake Lanier and I've never seen it before. You mind if we follow you and film you and like talk about what your plans are and how much you know about the lake and what you know about the lake? And if the guy calls his buddy and gets info, let everybody hear the info. That's the interesting part, and see like what the guy does with it. Be cool. A good bait to cover water with is a weedless underspan with a 5-inch spark shad. Clay, what are you talking about, bro? You got a spark shad yesterday. You damn hype dudes, hyping baits. He just ordered from Tackle Warehouse. Weedless underspin. I should probably be throwing that tomorrow as well. Probably unpopular opinion, but I'd go to South Oklahoma lakes, probably the biggest sleeper area in the country for big fish. I mean, you got to think, Morgan, with the exception of Texas Parks and Wildlife, I mean, it's just a border. Oh, you might be right, Hella. You might be right. Hella, what do you think about talking about you people? You got an opinion on that? What do you feel about? How does that make you feel? Basically, Texas without the attention. Later, Dustin. Man, I haven't got anything ready to go yet. I've just been sitting here. You do have to go there. You do have to go there. You got to see it. You got to experience it. And what better time than when it's the most famous? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's when everybody needs to go. When it's at its best. When all the folklore that made it so famous happened. It's now. It's now. I'm jealous. BBC, you must think I'm going to somewhere else tomorrow. You must be confused about where I'm going fishing. There must be some confusion in the chat. Caught a 6 on your first cast. So let me ask you this, Clay. Did young Clay, were you more stoked on the lake or the bait? Did you say, damn, this Terminator's legit? Or did you say, damn, fork is legit? Darius, did you have good success? Did you go this time of year, Darius? This is all things we can talk about on the camper only camper guest streams. When we get on there, and anybody that wants to be a guest can get the link and tell their greatest fishing story. That's going to be a thing. Or just give a tip, or just talk. Not the numbers. Big fish. Pretty cool. I bet you couldn't wait to get home. Nice throw. The camper call-in, yes, it'll be like Swap Shop. Swap Shop would be cool. I thought about that too, where you could do a swap shop with the campers because you could trust everybody. And you could say, hey guys, I've got this I've got these 2 Bomber Model A's, and I've got what else? I've got a couple square bills that I'd like to maybe trade for something else or sell or something like that. A music-centered camp stream? Like, what would we do? Went to Toledo every year. Do you not? What year did you stop making the trek to Toledo? But can't we trust other campers? Yeah, I think most of them I would trust. I think so. I mean, we haven't heard from the mole lately. Could watch the nephew shred. Brian, that's exactly what a mole would say. That's the exact same thing moles say. Talk about songs and stuff. I'd have to be in the right mood for that. Just listen to stuff. It'd be kind of fun. My dad was upset with all the boats at Fork, and then after I graduated from high school, he moved there. Is he still there? 90s gangster rap. I'm not as dialed on 90s rap. I'm more early 2000s. AJ, you're exactly right. He is in the golden age where like he's like, who's Led Zeppelin? And then he listens to it and he's like, holy shit. I remember those days where like every rock you turned over was like some new badass band that you'd never heard about. The difference is when we were young, AJ, there was only 3 decades of awesome bands. There's been 2 more since he was born. So we got to dip back in 30 years. BBC's looking back at 50, 60 years of music. 8 years. Oh, now you go to the smallmouth. That's right. That's right. Brian, that's what BBC said. Come to find out, he was the mole. Yep. BBC, damn mole. Mom put you on Led Zeppelin. Mom knows. Like Ontario. Do it, Clay. Get you a trip book. You got plenty of time because you can't fish up there till damn May or June anyway. So you got time. No, Ryan, I do not like Greta Van Fleet. I think they're talented bunch of little dweebs, but they, like a lot of people, are like petri dish rock, where they're talented and they sound good, but they have no soul. They have no personality. They have nothing. Because without Led Zeppelin and Robert Plant and Jimmy Page, they wouldn't exist. They are the spitting image of Led Zeppelin. Like everything about them, the look, the sound, like they're like a Led Zeppelin tribute band that writes their own music. And it's good, but it is like have a personality and like just be something that's not Led Zeppelin. The problem is that the dude's vocals are great, the band's great, but like just do it on your own. You know what I mean? And there'll be people that argue that they're like, oh, and I think that's where I think that's where uh, I think that's where you see people on maybe content creators when they start calling people you people. I think that's a prime example. Is if I was here talking about Greta Van Fleet sounding like Led Zeppelin, there would be somebody in the comments if this were like a music channel and people actually watched it. There would be people that say they don't sound anything like Led Zeppelin. They don't even look like Led Zeppelin. And then I think that's when the blood boils and the you people start coming out. Eddie Van Halen is a beast. Yeah, he's pretty good. Clay is over there jamming to the Mighty Mighty Bosstones as we speak. Favorite Zeppelin song? Oh. That's tough. Cashmere. maybe. Good times, bad times. Weirdest band I've ever seen was at the bar Tartar Control, dressed as Mormons with a robot. When the bar was closing, a midget tried to fight my cousin. Tartar Control, dressed as Mormons with a robot. Interesting. Can I find video of this? When the levee breaks? I'm sure there's some I'm missing. I'm sure there's some I'm missing. I'd have to go through the catalog. Nothing. I haven't listened to Led Zeppelin in so long. I don't have like a Led Zeppelin song that like jumps out at me. Kashmir, I like a lot. I've always liked Tangerine. Tangerine's one of my favorites. Immigrant Song. Yeah, that one's up there. Yeah. Immigrant Song and Kashmir. Immigrant Song gets you fired up. Kashmir, like, it just kind of makes you feel tough. Immigrant Song, like, it gets you fired up. But if you're feeling acousticy, Tangerine's good. That was always one of my favorites growing up. Definitely made for an interesting night. Grizzly, I went down some wormhole on some band. Who is that band? The lead singer was like this total goofball. And it was this whole shtick where he like pretended like he was nuts. And he really wasn't that nuts. But I know it's not appropriate to say, but he was rambling on. What is the name of that band? I can't remember. Too much stuff in the brain. I skipped a lot of the late 70s and 80s stuff and went just into the blues. Yeah, I like I'm kind of I went very, very, very heavy in the 60s. Mainly late 60s, early 70s rock. But there's some like mid late 70s, early 80s stuff that I'm not well versed on. Like I know a lot of guys talk about like a lot of the prog rock stuff I never got into or listened to, like Yes and Genesis, like early Genesis, not like Phil Collins solo Genesis. But GG Allen. Oh yeah, I know about GG. I've been down many GG wormholes. I don't know if has there ever been a more degenerate rocker than GG? If you like your front man when you go to a show to defecate on stage and then smear it around and throw it at you, you missed out on going to see GG Allen. And then get assaulted. Maybe what other girl or lady was in the audience, maybe she'd get assaulted too. Oh, GG did not care. Yeah. I don't know if it's even worth digging into. He was a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who else would. I don't think you can compare anybody to him. Doors, yeah, I got into the Doors. I wish I had my CD collection from back then. You know who I never got into? A little band called the Beatles. You might have heard of them. They had a couple hits. I never could get down with the Beatles. Uh, and the spiders from Mars. Definitely love Bowie. Definitely love Bowie. My brother-in-law was in a David Bowie tribute band that he was the front man of. So I definitely got my Bowie influence from him. Um, who else? Some of those obscure, not really obscure, but trying to think. But there's like I feel like the 80s is where all the like subgenres of subgenres started. Like there was some in the 70s, but then like once the 80s came out, there was like 16 different kinds of metal. And then there was like all kinds of like different like prog rock kind of bands that all were like in their own little genres and get into the Animals. I got into the Yardbirds because I found out that Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page, and Eric Clapton were all guitar players. Or not Eric? Was Eric Clapton? Eric Clapton wasn't in the Yardbirds. It was Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck, and who was the third guitar player in the Yardbirds? Because Clapton would have been in Cream. Who was it? Who was the third guitar hero? It was three. Somebody help me here. It was Clapton. It was before he joined Cream. So I was right. It was. Something just didn't seem right because I don't have a picture. Like when I picture, like I can picture videos of Jimmy Page in the Yardbirds, and I can picture Jeff Beck in videos from the Yardbirds, but I can't picture Clapton. I just picture Clapton in his early Cream interviews with the long mustache and the big poofy hair, playing the SG. I don't I don't even know what guitar Clapton was playing in the Yardbirds. I'm guessing maybe a Les Paul or something. Um, I guess it was Clapton. Let's look and see what guitar he was playing. Eric Clapton, Yardbirds. Trying to find a picture of him. Yeah, he just looked like a little schoolboy. Oh, he was playing a Telecaster? Wow. That's why I didn't recognize him. Look at that dude. Didn't even look like him. A Telly? No way. He didn't even look like a rock star. Jimmy Page did. Brian, just get a 2016 Les Paul tribute S. It's the best. That's the best Les Paul I've ever played. Was that era, 2006 or 2016 tribute, and they weren't that incredibly expensive, but they played immaculate and sounded awesome. The Nuge, he had some good riffs. He was a riffer. Nobody's mentioned ZZ Top. Oh, Billy Gibbons, he's a riff lord. All right, boys, I got to get off of here and get all this stuff squared away. Morgan mentioned that he would like to do a camper stream where we do a time. We do a time. See how fast I can untangle the wall of baits. See, time me and see how long it takes me to get that box of baits untangled. Each one. Unpopular opinion, I hate AC/DC. I can't. I used to listen to, so on my 8th grade field trip to Disney World, I had the Back in Black tape. And I listened to it going there and coming back. So that's like a 8-9 hour bus ride. And that's all I listened to. AC/DC, Back in Black, whole album. 9 hours. If I got bored with that for like 10 minutes, I'd listen to Allman Brothers greatest hits. So I was mixing up the trip with Allman Brothers and AC/DC. And after that, I haven't listened to them that much. The only song that I can still listen to and it not like be annoying is Big Gun. Side bet for how many times you hook yourself. That'd be a good one. What year was that, Kyle? When was that? That was my 8th grade field trip, so that would have been in like 1998, something like that. 99, 98. No, it would have been 98 or 97, something like that. Yeah, Paint It Black was the song. That was the Stone song that got me into the Stones. Now lately in the last like month, I've probably listened to Gimme Shelter about 6,000 times. It might be my number one Spotify song come the end of 2025. But I've dipped into the Stones a little bit more. I like Keith Richards. Speaking of Keith Richards, have y'all watched the video of him and Chuck Berry getting into it backstage about somebody? They were supposedly doing a tribute to Chuck Berry, and somebody touched Chuck's amp, and he like went postal. Guys, we're back. We're talking classic rock. You're right. He's here. He knew something was going on. He sensed it. What was I just talking about? Oh, Chuck Berry and Keith Richards. Yeah, there's a video on YouTube. It's like a couple minutes long, and it's Chuck chewing Keith Richards' ass out. But it's funny, like how chill Keith is. Later, Clay. Ryan, funny you say that. That came next after the Chuck Berry Keith Richards video. That one was tied into the wormhole. So Chuck Berry and John Lennon are performing, and Yoko's there, and they're singing like Johnny Be Good, and Yoko just like walks up to the mic and starts going, and like you can see like Chuck's look on his face, like what the hell is going on? And like John doesn't like miss a beat. He acts like it's like nothing. nothing's at it. Like it's like she's like a damn songbird. Like she's just right on key singing all the lyrics. But his eyes are like they tell it all. But yeah, when Yoko is making weird noises, and it's bizarre. So then you watch that. And this is how the wormholes work for me. Then it's like, well, let me figure out how kooky Yoko really was. So then you get down the Yoko wormhole. Let's figure out where everything went wrong. Dude, there's only one Joe Cocker song to listen to, and it's live, and you know the one. What would you do if I sang out of tune? Dude, that could be maybe popular opinion, unpopular opinion. I don't know, but I would say that could be the greatest single song cover performance of all time. Number one. I don't think there is a better performance cover live of a song as that one. Jim Croce? Not really. He's a little folky for me. But I didn't dig deep. I think so. I don't think studio wise, no. Like, I don't think there's ever been like Jimi Hendrix's cover of All Along the Watchtower is a masterpiece, a studio masterpiece. It doesn't translate live, but what they created in a studio is top 5 produced songs to me ever. Not won't say produced, but crafted solos and like all that sounds is up there. But live, no, because it doesn't have the same impact live. But Joe Cocker, on the other hand, man, he did it. It does take you on a journey. If we're still talking about All in the Watchtower, yeah, it's it takes you somewhere, and you don't really know where it's going, but you're on the ride, and it's as good as it gets. I think. So, all right. I guess I'm gonna go blast some Joe Cocker and some Rolling Stones. Animals House of the Rising Sun is number 2 cover song. Do you have All Along the Watchtower at number 1? Yeah, I'll check back in tomorrow. Probably not tomorrow because I'll probably be sleepy. Kyle, that talk about a timeless song. Voodoo Child. That song was so good, still is. It's so good, like it can even make like a 12-year-old gin Roman numeral whatever like get fired up. Like it's that good. Like you could take it and play it for a kid that was born in 2015, and they'd be like, "This shit's badass." I'm like, yeah, it was written 70 years ago. Stevie Ray. I mean, I don't group Stevie Ray into classic rock. I mean, I know he's classic rock, kind of, but I don't like. You know what I mean? Like, I don't put Black Dog and like Couldn't Stand the Weather in like the same like conversation. Although you could probably group him in there. I just group Stevie Ray into like guitar gods. I guess we're talking about Hendrix and Jimmy Page and stuff, but and the Stones, but I don't know. Yeah, he doesn't he's not as I wouldn't say he's like as radio friendly as the other guys. I do love Stevie Ray. He was the first guitar player that I listened to that I realized how much, how rhythmic that, like that. What made his solos so good is how rhythmic they were at warp speed. That he was like his solos were like super fast, but they were playing in a rhythm, and it was like when I started hearing like his timing on quickly, it kind of blew my mind. Music talk. Yeah, we dropped off dramatically. We lost 118 follower or viewers when we started talking about music. We're down to 14. Had a big group on, but they don't like music. Who sent me down the music hole? Was that BBC that destroyed this stream? Thanks, BBC. Yep, BBC started it, and he's not even here anymore. He went and jumped on a horse and derailed the stream and sent 100 people packing. What a dick. Burns is out because we ain't talking about hair metal. He wants to talk about Rat, not these bitch-ass classic rockers. Mole doing mole things. That was a very moley move to do because he knows I'm derailed easy, and he derailed me and then dipped. It happens. It happens. But I got 12 more baits. Listening to that crap. AJ is coming in with the derailment number 6 shortly. Hey, what do you think about this song? Unpopular opinion. Unpopular opinion, Tool sucks. Y'all like chewing on that skin beside your fingers and pulling it off till it bleeds? That's what you get, AJ. All right. AJ's messing up. Oh, Burns, there's just a. I thought you said there was 4 baits for you and a couple prototypes, and I feel like there was like 8 extra baits in there. Yeah, then it gets infected. I don't know. The pain is weirdly satisfying. Like pulling that skin off, and you're like, "Ow, that hurts! Holy shit, ow!" But you can't stop. You have to. You got to get it off all the way. I don't know, Burns. I'll have to ask you, or just send you a picture, and you tell me whose is whose and what's is what. But I'll send it to you. Bourbon for dinner. I hear you, AJ. It's cold. Mole trying to keep your subs under 500. I know. It's hard out there. It's hard out there for a content creator like myself to get a to bust the 500 mark. I'll get there one of these days. Get that monetization. Get the new studio. Get the new boat. There will be signs when I get to 500 and get monetized. Have I ever edited one of my videos? No, I've tried, and my computer and internet and everything is so slow that you can't crop anything. It just spins indefinitely. So I just say, fuck it and leave. So, no, we don't edit around here. We don't have the technology. We don't have the tech at Tacklecraft for such things. So we just do it Cro-Magnon way. That'll keep you under 500. That's fine. If we stay at $4.99 for the rest of my life, don't give a shit. We'll be fine. I'll make it. I'll survive. I'll survive in this world. That'll be the truth. TechCraft, that's me. That's me, TechCraft. So, yeah, I like raw and uncut. I like the way we do things over here. We're not fancy. We're not trying to be fancy. We're just talking. For 45 minutes longer than I thought I was going to. So, all right, guys. Y'all have a good weekend, campers. Wish me luck and look for your email. Probably lost all the subs. Yeah, they came in and listened to me talk about music and said, this guy sucks. But, hello. Have fun in Mexico. Drink a mojito for us. And campers, check out your emails. Adios, boys.